today's Warzone video, I'm going to be giving you the top 5 best loadouts to be using after the Season 1 Reloaded update. The meta has shaken up quite a bit, so before we get into that, if you guys want to see high kill Warzone gameplays with these top 5 loadouts I'm going to be giving you, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and if any of these help you out, they'll probably help others out as well. Click that thumbs up button. With all that being said, let's get into the first loadout. Starting off with the MCW, which got a huge buff, and I'm really hoping this is meta because it deserves the love. So we got the 60-round drum mag as our first attachment, so we can take out multiple enemies without having to reload. Our ammunition type, we're going to do the NATO high grade rounds, where you get an increase in bullet velocity and damage range. This is kind of like what everybody uses on their long range weapons. It only makes sense to use it on our MCW. For my muzzle, this may surprise you, but it's all the way at the end here, and it's a very underrated muzzle not a lot of people use, and that is the X10 ported 290. It completely removes any type of bounce or recoil this weapon has. It is actually unreal. For my barrel, I have on the MCW Cyclone long barrel. We get an increase in bullet velocity and range, so it takes less bullets to kill at longer ranges, which we definitely need because before they buffed this, it was an absolute pea shooter. So after the buff, the weapon's stronger, and we're gonna make it even more stronger with this attachment on. And then my final attachment is the Choreo Eagle's Eye 2.5 times, which in my opinion is the best optic for long range weapons in Warzone. So if we take this to the firing range, dude, it literally doesn't move. It is actually unreal. Zero recoil on it. And just in the firing range alone, just feels so much better than it did previously. Unreal. I really hope this is the main meta, but I don't know. You'll have to tell me in the comments what you think. For our second loadout, we have the Striker 9, which also received a significant buff, and I am so glad it did, because before they buffed it, I already loved this SMG, and I'm gonna love it even more now that it's better. So we got the 50-round drum, so we can take out multiple enemies without having to reload. We're definitely gonna need this. This has a higher fire rate than normal Striker, so make sure you have that on. Once again, we have the high grain rounds, which is kind of just a necessity on all these MW3 weapons. It just works so well on them. We got the T5 1R billeted break, and this just, again, removes any type of bounce or recoil this weapon has. It makes it incredibly stable and accurate. I have the Striker Recon long barrel on. We're gonna increase in bullet velocity and range, so it makes the weapon stronger, kill a little bit more quickly at those medium range gunfights if you find yourself in them. And then my final attach on my Striker 9 is the Lockman Mark II light stock. And this just gives me quite a bit of mobility so I can finesse around the map, outmaneuver my enemies and whatnot. And then we take this to the firing range as well. Again, I already loved this weapon from, before they changed it. Quite a bit of mobility on it, which is really nice. And then when it comes to gunfights, it doesn't move because of that muzzle we have on, and it has just very good power. You can maintain that accuracy, those medium ranges. As much as I wanted to take the swarm over, I don't know, but it's gonna be really, really close. For our third loadout, we have the MTZ-762, which was what I think is the #1 meta long-range weapon in the game. Although it was nerfed, wasn't nerfed enough. So my first attachment here is a 30-round magazine. I know, seems not like much, but with how quickly this drops enemies, it's more than enough. Trust me on that. We got the Bruin heavy support grip on it, which you're gonna need. The weapon does have quite a bit of kick to it, and when you have this on, it pretty much eliminates all of it, and even if it doesn't, our third attachment is the Tempest G850 muzzle. When you have this muzzle and the underbarrel, laser beam. It is actually ridiculous. We have the MTZ Precision Blackthorn barrel as our fourth attachment, where we get a massive increase in bullet velocity and range, which is so unnecessary. It's ridiculous. It definitely kills in like 3 to 4 shots. And if you don't have this barrel on, you're not using the MTZ-762 correctly. And like I said, when we were covering our MCW, the best optic in the game, Choreo Eagle's Eye. And again, this is, it's still meta. This is just the #1 long-range weapon in the game, I believe. The thing doesn't move, incredibly dominant, and that 30 magazine just dropped 3 enemies with 3 plates on. So again, that 30 ammo count, it's more than enough. Our fourth loadout, we have the WSP Swarm. I had to include it in this top 5 because they didn't nerf it. So it's still the meta SMG, was before the update, and it still is after. We got the 100-round drum mag as our first attachment. I know a lot of people like to rock 50, but that big old drum mag where I can just spray and pray, love it. Can't get enough of it. I got the DR6 hand stop on, which just gives me a huge increase in mobility. So due to that very high drum mag and losing out on mobility, this kind of helps me regain it back, so I'm able to be a lot more quick and snappy with my my movement and whatnot. I then have the Purifier Muzzle Brake S on, and this just, there's no bounce on this thing. Like I said, it has a high fire rate, right? It's very controllable after you throw this muzzle on. We have the WSP Reckless 90 long barrel, and this gives us a bullet velocity and range, so it kills a little bit more quickly. But we also get gun kick control and recoil control, so it makes the weapon a lot more accurate on top of making it stronger. And the Fortress Heavy Stock, which is kind of a necessity. This is a very important attachment when it comes to maintaining the recoil control of the weapon. And if we head to the firing range with this very unique and different build, yes, we're doing the iron sights. The thing literally doesn't move, and it has incredible mobility even with this big drum mag eye. When it comes to like a medium range gunfight like this, you realistically probably shouldn't be able to land shots, but you are. So again, still the meta SMG of the game. Then our fifth and final loadout of today's top 5 is the AMR9, which received a significant buff, just an overall damage increase. I'm hoping this is good because it has great range. And it's not a bad SMG, it just needs a little bit of love, which it got. So we have the Seiken ZX Grip, which gives us an increase in recoil control. Again, makes the weapon accurate and whatnot. I got the 50 round drum mag on. I think 100's a little OD. We don't need 100 like we did on the Swarm because the fire rate isn't as high. I think 50 you could definitely get away with. I got the DR6 hand stop once again, just like we did on our Swarm for an increase in movement speed. I think the thing that the AMR9 struggles with most is mobility. It's a little bit of a heavier SMG, so I'm definitely going to need that. I have the AMR9 Enforcer long barrel, which gives me bullet velocity and range, so I can actually use this at longer ranges and be successful with it. And the iron sights, in my opinion, are atrocious on this. So I threw in an optic, and I like the Night Arm model quite a bit, and very, very self-explanatory build here. Bring this to the firing range, and I really hope it's actually good because in the firing range, it gets the job done. It's accurate, great mobility, and it's just a very solid SMG. I just hope that it's just as good in game. So there's the AMR9. I wanted to include an honorary mention, that being the Rival 9, because after looking at the patch notes, this did receive a buff that did make it a little bit better, and this is what I really ultimately wanted to be meta and just the #1 SMG. So here's the build, because I'm definitely going to be using it myself. We got the 50 round drum mag, so once again, we can just take out multiple enemies without having to reload. A very just kind of staple attachment that we've been using throughout this top 5, the high grain rounds, bullet velocity and damage. So makes the weapon just a little bit better, kill a little bit more quickly. I got the T5 1R billeted brake, which honestly removes any type of bounce that the Rival 9 has, and you could easily use this at medium ranges without missing a single bullet. I have the Rival C clear shot barrel, where I'm going to increase in bullet velocity and range. Just increasing the damage, making it kill a little bit quicker. So when you have this barrel and the ammunition, it definitely helps it out quite a bit. And then my final attachment is the EXF close quarters assault stock, where I get another increase in my recoil control because it is a little messy. So I think you're going to need that. And then we can hop into the firing range quickly with it. Man, do I so bad want this to be meta. I think it'd be so much fun. It's literally the CX9. You can see it's quick, snappy, there's mobility on it, and you're able to control the recoil control on it. Even at this medium range here, very, very easy to do. We had that 50 round drum, which definitely came in handy there. So worth trying out. I really hope it's as good as it is in a firing range, like I said earlier. And then when it pertains to the tactical, lethal, and perk package, it all stays the same for me personally. I got the stim shot because you do get that stim boost. It gets you out of sticky situations. We got the throwing knife to finish down players. And then my perk package I like to use is double time, Mountaineer, so reduces fall damage. It almost eliminates it completely, and that gets you out of sticky situations as well. I got Tempered, so I can only have to play it up twice rather than 3 times. And then I got Flax for better audio. I know where enemies are at and whatnot. Hands down, the best perk package, at least in my personal opinion. And that's going to wrap it up for today's top 5 meta Warzone loadouts after the update. Let me know what you guys are going to be rocking after today's update. I know I'm going to be trying out the Rival 9, MCW, and whatnot. Other than that, I'll see you on the next one. You guys also safe. Have a great day, and I'm out. Peace.